This past month, I spent 2 weeks crafting a platformer designed to be fast, speedrunnable, and most importantly fun, nicknamed FINESSE Dash. I took inspiration from a few platformer type games that I really enjoy, that being Celeste, Super Meat Boy, and Super Smash Bros. Melee. I wanted to build my game around a key quirk of the mechanics that both Melee and Celeste have, which is dashing. Both of these games have a technique called wavedashing, which is a trick based around dashing into the ground to transfer speed and momentum to that both offer mobility of some form in both of these games. However, both of these wave dashes work differently. You see, Celeste has a wave dash that's more built for speed and fluidity of the game in order to allow you to traverse faster. However, Melee has a wave dash that players use to transfer momentum in order to move more precisely, in order to evade opponents in a certain way. Throughout developing the game, I was trying to figure out a way in order to combine both of these use cases of the mechanics, and this is how I started to work on FINESSE Dash. Let me show you how. After opening up Unity and creating a new project, I got straight to work on Photoshop, making a truly relatable, comforting character that would make you want to play the game. Yep, here's the character. Yeah, I know, he's beautiful. You see, I was on a call with my friends, and I decided to make a pink block the main character of my game. Don't ask me why. I totally didn't base it off of a pink circular guy from a Nintendo series. No, you see, that would be really bad, and I kind of don't want to get sued right now. In order to not get sued, I'll just call this little guy movebert, and he's going to be controlled by a Unity rigid body. To make him move, I will actually move him around with Unity's physics system. While a lot of good platformer games move their characters by changing mainly just the velocity, allowing for great air control and ground movement like Hollow Knight, this game is about speed and being dopingly swag and cool. So instead, we're going to be using both velocity and physics forces to push him around with acceleration. In order to make movebert pretty cool, I also gave him the ability to jump twice because, as Confucius once said, cool people can jump twice in real life. And now with all of this out of the way, we're off to making some cool movement mechanics. After adding some goofy little code to allow the character to move fast in a specific direction in the air after pressing some keys, I got the dash working. I just decided it just wasn't enough for the dash, and as a result, I added the power of added acceleration when you jump and dash into the ground. So when you jump again, you can actually keep that speed, and you can do a really nice wave dash jump. I also decided to make it so that way when you jump and dash into the ground, you can't keep the speed forever, and instead slows you down over time. So that way you keep going at normal speed. And I think now this actually feels pretty good. I also added the cool mechanic of wall jumping, which allows you to traverse the map in pretty cool and quick ways. And now I think the whole character movement seems pretty good. To give the movement some weight, I used the power of Unity's particle system to give moving in the game a feeling of speed. I based the particles off of Super Meat Boy's running because it looks cool, and honestly, running with particles make you feel really fast, I think. After getting these particles to work, I kind of just copy-pasted them to the wall jump, made them gray and sideways, and boom! The movement system looks pretty nice. In order to increase the ability of movement, I added some items in the game that allow you to move faster, such as a dash block that gives you back your dash in the air when you touch it, trampolines to propel you further in the air than you can off the jump, and falling platforms to force you to keep moving. And I think we're now ready to work on the map. As my fellow friend Pers once said, every game needs a map, I think, lol. Can we play Quake CPMA? Because I really didn't want to play Quake, to be honest. I kind of just started working on my map ASAP and tried getting it done as soon as possible. To quickly plan it out, I based most of the design on the original Pico-8 Celeste map. I thought it was really good and allowed for a lot of newcomers to sort of get used to the game's mechanics without having a straight up tutorial. And as a result, I kind of just yoinked it and I ran with it. After spending a few days just getting the layout done, I then got to working on a tile map to use that I thought would just fit well with the game's design. And as a result, I found an 8-bit dungeon tile map that I thought just looked really good, and I also went with this as well. After also working on the layout, I spent a lot of time tweaking it in order to make it work with the character's movement because I really wanted players to use all the mechanics that the character has to offer before getting to making it work on the tile map. Now, it was off to placing the tile maps on the map itself, which took a lot of time resizing the prior base design of the map, as I had to fit it with the grid of the tile map itself. I did a few Twitch streams of me working on the map at twitch.tv/movesy, and after a week, I got it done. That week of my life is now gone. When you reach the top, the end of the mountain that you climb in Finesse Dash. The mountain you climb greets you with a beautiful blue sky and a flag to indicate that you reached the top, that everything is honestly going to be okay, and that we're just proud of you for making it to the top. To make these words a reality, I did a little bit of some trigger coding that when you enter into the invisible box at the top of the mountain, it shows that you beat the game and you can finally go back to the menu like a champ. I think first impressions matter, and as a result, I just went straight to work on making a menu that looks good and represents the game as a whole. Using the power of Unity's UI system, I made a few buttons that let you just play the game, change your controls, go into the credits to see who played the game, and obviously links to my social media so that way more people would find info about me and my game, honestly. If they just want to know more or something, I guess. Because my game is a speedrunning game, I also had to make a menu bind so that way you could just press escape and then you could go back to the menu if you just messed up your speedrun or something. And I think the game's just pretty much done. For a few closing words, after releasing the game, I had listened to a lot of my friends' feedback in order to make the game more playable and improve the quality of life. I had made a few updates for the game, and honestly, these updates were really good, such as rebindable keybinds, tips that the birds tell you in order to help you traverse through the game, and honestly, these deserve their own video about it for how much work I spent on them. For my first game that I worked on in over 3 years, I just had a lot of fun working on it, and I just can't wait to make more videos about the games that I work on. If you have any suggestions for maybe updates for Finesse Dash, please comment about it, and honestly, this was just really fun to work on. I wish you guys all a great day, and as always, my socials are in the description and the comments below, and adios amigos, movebert está cerrando sesión.